We are here and we are anticipating this exchange in order to help you comprehend yourself in a new light as you are all working towards understanding yourself through an ascended view. Many of you have been learning more about yourself, and we would like to speak to you at this time, maybe on what we hope a practical level for you to understand yourselves in a new way. We want you to understand that this human experience is about learning. It is about having an experience. It is about allowing yourself to be present in a place and situation and physical realm that is not your original form. And we want you to understand that this is not a punishment or something that you chose to do because of a reason. There is a concept on earth about karma and the cycle of karma. And in your case, in a physical world, there is such thing as karma, or what you may call repeated energy. You are seeing repeated energy happening in your world all the time. The energy that is present is presenting itself in your physical realm, in your experiences, in your interactions, and how you engage with the world around you. This is all what you may call karma. It is the karmic energy projecting itself back into your reality for you to see things that you can shift or change. What many humans don't realize is they are attempting at all times to come back to self, to know themselves, to explore themselves, to learn about self. And even more so, as the earth consciousness has begun to rise into a frequency that has more comprehension and ability to hold the knowledge of your divine frequency. As earth ascends, as humanity ascends, you become more aware of yourselves, your behaviors, your actions, the things that you engage in on a daily basis, and how they make you feel. And as you feel emotions, as you engage with these, this opens up your ability to continue to ascend. For many centuries on earth, humans have not fully allowed themselves to have the experience of emotions. And now that you are moving into a higher frequency, you are enhancing the ability to have these emotions, to process them and release them. Instead of allowing them to be what controls your cycles or karma, you shift the karma, you shift the outcome by changing the emotion and the focus and feeling, engaging with the thing outside of you, or even in some cases within your physical body. The concept of you creating and co creating with the universe is accurate and true. And when you understand that you are also a participant in the creation of your reality, you then learn that you are capable of shifting and changing it into ways that you wish to take place. So, in this time, we would like you to know that what you are really doing in your experiences that you are having at this time is engaging with the ability to learn about self, to come back to self. Anything that is taking you away from self or causing your vibration to remain at a low frequency is something you are also attempting to use to come back to yourself. As everything in your world, everything in the universe is always reflecting back to you. There's always an attempt to come back to self. And you, as a frequency of source energy, God, are coming back to self. God is constantly coming back to self. It expresses itself, it expands itself, and then it comes back to self. And you are a reflection of this. This is why, even in the human experience and body, you have this experience of leaving your higher dimensional frequency, or the part of you that holds the consciousness of your high self, and projecting part of that into an experience that's physical, and then pulling itself back out of that experience once it has had that experience and learned from it. So none of this taking place in your reality is a punishment. It is always a continued frequency of you projecting you into the world. And as you learn and as you ascend, you will learn that if I do not project this thought, if I do not focus this energy, if I do not continue this karmic cycle, and I uh, release it or end it by shifting into a new cycle, then the reality of this world changes. And the higher thought you have, or the more positive thought you have, and the frequency you hold in that thought, that is what then allows the earth and the consciousness of humanity to rise into a frequency that you will one day call 5D or a new earth frequency. So as humans are learning to engage with the world around them and hold belief and attention for what it is they want to see instead of things they do not want to see, they will ascend. This is how you ascend. This is not something that happens outside of you. The world will not suddenly look different. You are what is creating the difference of ending cycles or karmas that you have lived within for many thousands of years on the earth, and the end of this cycle or an era of these things taking place, moving into the next phase of yourself. So when you find yourself distracted by things that take away your ability to connect with self, maybe a substance or an addiction, understand that those two are an attempt to come back to self. So the more you come back into understanding you, holding the light of you, loving you, being a creator within your own knowing and vibration and frequency of your original self, channeling the light of your true self through this human vessel, and expressing and expanding love in the way that you can to the earth around you in all forms, whether that be nature or humanity. Everything is here to help you. You just have to change the way you see it and what it is trying to teach you. We know this is difficult for humanity to comprehend at times, but you truly are the creators of your reality. We hope this helps, and we are open to questions at this time.
Hi, this is Mandy. I was in Petoskey, Michigan the past 2 days, and I had a really powerful experience. I was hoping you could answer some questions for me on that. When I was at Lake Michigan, I had an intense energy experience, and I was wondering if you could tell me more about that and also about the experience I had with the sun at that time.
You were having some body remembrances or activations of past energies or lifetimes that you have had, all channeled into one. When you activated your energy through the water by connecting to the water, because your body is about 80 to 90% water, it allowed the water within your body to resonate at the frequency in which you were channeling light through you, which activated the water and your ability to enhance it by connecting with that land in the area which you were. So in many ways, you were acting as if you were a portal of light expanding and opening, which caused some physical sensations in your body. This then opened up your ability to see things that you had not seen prior to this moment, an activation of your frequency to open up into a realm of understanding of the non-physical that many humans have not accessed at this point. In the near future, as humanity continues to ascend and to activate their own energies and follow these prompts they are getting to interact with the world around them, not all humans will have the same interactions in which you have, where they must go somewhere or do something. Some of it will be spontaneous, some of it will be just by being told to do something or go somewhere. But for you, this was a soul remembrance, you may say, an activation in a frequency enhancer. And for a short moment, you felt something beyond your original form, your current frequency, and an enhanced ability to perceive the non-physical world around you in a new way. We hope this helps.
Yes. Also, when I was at Petoskey's grave, did we accomplish what we set out to accomplish? with the copper wire.
What you don't see in your reality or timeline is that you were not the only one that was engaging in this behavior or act at the time. You may have felt beings around you, and they were from other timelines or portals that have come with you at that point in time to help the activation. And so, in many ways, it's continuing to be in process now, as there are other beings and members of the council, you may say, or the light beings that are being called in to activate different parts of the land and the earth. And so some of you are being called to certain spots on the earth to help that activation, where you may take an item, or you may be called to go somewhere that maybe doesn't make sense at the time, or it does, and feel the energy of it. But what you don't always see from our point of view, being able to see into this energy for multiple timelines, not just the one you are in, not just the Earth time, the year that you are in, or the years that you are in. This could be many years prior to you. This could be many years ahead of you. There is no time that we comprehend from our level, but every one of these timelines had an activation which opened up the frequency for the earth to begin to ascend into a higher frequency. And this activation is what opened many of the portals that are bringing in more sunlight and the ability to perceive the non-physical world in a new way, having more interactions with us and with the other beings of the earth that are there to assist in this ascension. We hope this helps.
Yes. Yesterday, we ended up in a town called Harbor Springs, and we were just a little confused, but was there a reason that we ended up in that town?
What we can see is there was some density in this town that needed to be released and shifted. And by you being there and present, it opened up more of the land that you were working with around that area. And so it was simply you moving into another location to move some energy around. The density that you may have even felt when you went into that place, the difference that you felt in that place. Many of you are called to go places just to simply shift the energy. And so this is why you were guided in this very strange way to go to another part of this land, as what you activated in the original point that you went to go expanded into this area as well. We hope this helps.
Yes. And my last question, can you tell me the name of White Horse Lady when she was on the earth?
We can attempt to look. We are seeing a name, however, we are unsure how to speak that at this time, as this vessel does not have the ability to say that.
Okay. Thank you. Mary?
Yes. When we have stagnant energy in our bodies, does it cause disease like cancer?
Yes.
And how do we remove it, the stagnant energy?
Intention is always one of the most beneficial things humans can do, is intently focus your own energy and move it out through your thoughts and mind. Sound also helps by moving with the sound or a frequency, using that and focusing it in that particular area of your body. And also sometimes intentionally moving your body or activating it through a behavior or action, such as yoga or other things that humanity uses at times to shift and move energy. However, that is not always what releases it. It is more about your intention. And intention, even if you're using a tool, is the most important part of this. By you thinking about it moving out, it must move out, because if you think about it, you are your own energy. Is this correct? So
Yes.
There is a part of you that is thinking, which is why that frequency is inside of you. You want to leave, but you are thinking about that frequency. I have this, or this is in me. And it is very unconscious many times for humans because they think, why would I think this? Why would I want this? This does not make sense. But because you are a conscious being, because everything about you is energy, there is some type of thought or a belief frequency that it resides in your physical form that causes this density. Some of these thoughts came from different parts of your life, not necessarily something that has happened recently or that you have engaged in. It may have happened when you were being formed in your mother's womb. It may have happened when you were 2 or 3 or many other parts of your age of a human. However, it does not matter when, it is still the intention and the belief to move these energies out. So basically, what the little forms of density is in your body is a belief, a thought, or an interaction that you've had with the world around you that formed what humans often call entities that then engage with the body and begin to vibrate with the body, which then at times, if not dealt with when it is starting, will begin to expand throughout the body, creating sickness or other forms of discomfort for the human vessel. We hope this helps.
Yes, thank you.
You are welcome.
Heather?
Yeah. So I have a headache today. And I feel like I've been getting quite a few headaches lately. Can you help me understand why I'm having this headache? Is it pressure or is it?
Well, it is pressure. However, we understand that there is some elements of your human experience and the elements of the earth being in contradiction at times, where the earth is vibrating at one frequency and your human body is vibrating at a different frequency, which causes a misalignment because you are part of the earth as a human vessel. So sometimes humans feel this discomfort in their physical body when there's a different vibration happening with the earth. And many of you follow this with the resonance of the earth and seeing its shifts. And that is why sometimes your body interacts with it in ways that have discomfort. But for you also, we see that you have many thoughts and ideas in your mind you are working through, which is offsetting your vibration from being able to ground and collaborate and co-create with the earth's frequency at this time. And so we would encourage you to sit with the energy of the earth, to communicate with her, to vibrate with her, and just begin to synchronize your physical body with her. And this can be done by simply sitting with the intention of, I am connected to this earth. I am connected to her frequency. I am vibrating at my optimum level of co-creation with this being that I am residing on at this time. We hope this helps.
Yes, thank you. And then I've had tightness in my hip. Can you help me understand this?
Which hip is it?
It's my right one.
This is something you were holding on to.
Okay.
It is something that you are struggling with letting go of or moving through your body. There is something about taking steps forward or not taking steps forward. There's a resistance in your energy of wanting to do something, but also not wanting to do something. And so this is causing your body to react. So what we would encourage you to do is sit with your intentions. Maybe look through your thoughts and think, what am I holding on to, or what am I moving too quickly in or too slowly in, and see if this helps the alignment in that area come back into place.
Okay, thank you. I do have one more question. My daughter's been having like bloody noses. Can you tell me why she's having bloody noses?
Let us look. It appears she's had an operation recently and this has engaged some things with her passageways. It is not negative. It is just something that is irritated at this time. We would encourage you to send some healing light to this area where she had this performed and to speak healing over this. It does not get better. We encourage you to see someone to see what might be taking place in the area.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yeah, I had a session with Angie this past week, and there was a male spirit who had came that had a fatherly energy, she had said. I was wondering if you could help us figure out who or what that was.
This was your great grandfather who is acting as a guide of yours at this time. You did not know him in this lifetime, and nor will you be able to. However, he is an active participant in your experience here on earth and has been with you since you came. This is what she was picking up, and the reason she was unable to truly trust the activation of this connection was because of how farly removed he is from your current life. So this is a great grandfather that you had, maybe not in this lifetime, but you have, that lived many hundreds of years ago. We hope this helps.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
And my second question is, I work with a bunch of children with autism. I didn't know if you could help us understand autism.
What a beautiful gift that you get to work with these beautiful children. These are activated energies in these humans. They are highly gifted, highly sensitive, and very psychic. As you spend your time with them, they are picking up your energy, they are picking up your thoughts, and many times they understand what you are thinking. So if there's a time someone thinks negative about them or they are frustrated with them, they will reflect that right back to them. This is why many of these kids have a hard time controlling their sensations in their bodies, because they can feel the way other people feel. And who wants to feel that way? It is amplified 10 times more for these individuals because they are the light of the world. They hold a higher frequency for humanity. And there have been more and more humans that have come into the earth with autism, or what you call autism, but these are simply light beings that are having a hard time holding this high of a frequency in their physical body. So Earth has labeled them as a troublesome or different because they do not add up to the standards in which you have created for humanity. Humanity did not come just to have a experience and activate the learning or all be the same. You are all a part of a puzzle that is holding different beliefs, energies, interactions, but sometimes it feels hard to not conform with what everyone else is doing. So your earth has created systems and standards for everyone to live by. These individuals did not come to live by these standards. They did not come to conform to these standards. They came to acknowledge them, see them, and expose them. This is why they caused you discomfort. If you were to listen to them and allow them to teach you, they could help Earth and many people on Earth expand their awareness and consciousness. As there have been some engaging of this already by people working with engaging them and at times working with their family to share with the collective and the public about them. But this is yet to continue to move forward, as even people that are learning these things about these little individuals is this struggle of comprehending it. So for those who work with these children, the best thing you can do is to work on your own energy, your own frequency, and hold light within yourself so that you can activate it with them. You may even want to practice your telepathic abilities so you can communicate with them in a new way. We hope this helps.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gina?
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions. Today when I was sitting out on my deck, I was looking at my two really large trees in my backyard, and I just felt very connected to them. I don't know why I'm emotional, but I'm wondering, I felt that they were saying to ask what their names were. So I want to know if the one largest and closest to my deck, does it have a name?
We can look and see if it will allow us to tell you. We want to say this before we engage with names, however, that these trees create a portal. And if you were to engage with them, sit between them and talk with them, it would activate your own energy. So this is why you were so emotionally drawn to this, because it activates something in you. They were calling to you to invite you into this because you are ready to do so at this time. So if you would like to know them deeply, continue to meditate with them and communicate with them, and if there's ability to sit with them and to work with their energy as you are standing or moving or sitting between a divine masculine and feminine energy that activates this energetic connection to a light portal that can move through the area. And many of you are activating portals all the time without realizing it. So we want you to be intentional about how you interact and engage with the world around you. As more light comes to earth, more of these are opening. Now we will look into the names. Well, one of them is making a joke and said he would like to be called Jack because he said there is something about jacks with wood on earth. We are unsure what he's speaking about, but if this is something you want to use, they would be okay with that. The other one is Tanaya. We hope this helps.
Which one is closest to the deck?
The male.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I have another question. In a previous life, can you tell me if I lived in Asia?
Yes.
Was one of the life lessons that I learned there was that I couldn't speak my truth?
You lived in poverty at this timeline, and there was some repression in the area and where you were living, and it caused you to have to interact with the world around you in a very quieted way in order to survive. So yes.
Okay, thank you.
Kim?
We would like to pause for a moment as there's information coming through about this, and we have a question. Why is it that you want to know about this lifetime, about being in Asia?
When I was just getting ready, I was thinking of past lives a few days ago or last week, and I just felt like I lived in Asia in a previous life. And I asked the question to my spirit team or my higher self, what was it that I learned in that lifetime? And what came through was that I couldn't speak my truth. So I was just curious and wanted to know a little bit more about that.
Yes, so we want to use this as an example to teach in this moment. Thank you for answering this question. What we want you to know that many of you are having these experiences where you're having memories come back into your current moment in time. These memories could be from other lifetimes or parallel experiences taking place. And this is because, as we were talking about earlier, about the karmic cycles of Earth ending and a new one's beginning, you are all working with one another. And this is also what we meant when we spoke about different timelines showing up at different spots on the earth. And when you work on something in this timeline or in this experience, it is also helping another timeline and experience. And so the message you received today was about your voice, using your voice and expanding it. And in this lifetime, what you are doing is doing so. You are helping that lifetime to heal that karmic cycle. And you are stepping into balance where you're not oversharing or undersharing, but sharing as you are meant to in alignment with your truth. All humans will have this as they continue to ascend. Not all will have an experience where they engage with another lifetime. However, they will have remembrance of things or aha moments or sudden realizations about why something has happened in their life over and over and how to end that cycle and to move forward. Thank you for allowing us to teach this. We are ready for the next question.
Kim? Kim, you're muted.
I'm sorry about that. When I was about two years old to about 5 years old, I used to do, I call it bouncing. And what that was is I would sit in a certain chair and I would just sit and hit my head against the chair, the top of the chair, because it was puffy chair and it's kind of like a trampoline for my head. So, and I would do that for hours. I would also swing for hours when I was that age. I don't know why I did that. And was that because
Well, you were new to your body.
I'm sorry?
You were new to this body. This is why many children engage with their bodies in the way that they do. This is why play is such a huge part of a child's life. It gives an interaction with the physical body. When you come into the body, you don't know how to use it. You don't know what to do. You begin to experience with it. You begin to walk. You begin to touch. You begin to bounce. You begin to experience. And so it was a way of your consciousness, your soul, your spirit engaging with the physical form of your body. The sensation gave you the ability to feel the body in a new way or in a deeper way, to feel like you are safe in the body. Because as humans come to Earth, the soul does not always fully enter into the body until much later, after the body has interacted and engaged some with the earthly realm. And everyone has a different timeline on how this takes place based on the environment in which they live in. If you are born into much trauma, your soul may have to go into the physical body more quickly in order to protect itself. In a more safe environment, you can remain open and engaged and aligned with yourself for a little bit longer, as this gives you the safety to explore your physical body still and connect with the outside elements or non-physical elements. So this is why many children have the ability to remember their last lifetime, to see loved ones that have transitions. They are able to speak with their what you call spirit team or guides, or maybe see angels. Many of them have visitation from extraterrestrial beings. They have all kinds of interactions because they feel safe in their body to have the experience still. At some point, because most times humans are taught to shut off these gifts or the true self of who they are to engage with the physical world, they begin to dissipate or disappear over time. However, there can be an ability to remain open in these things based on the environment that the child is being raised in, which some children did choose to not be raised in an environment due to the things they wanted to learn or experience, or what they were here to help Earth do and heal in. So there might be a soul that says, I want to go into this dense experience and I will have to retreat into this body quickly, which is very uncomfortable, by the way, and then have this denser, darker energy around me and learn and see and anticipate and experience. And so these young humans that come in this form, they still engage with the world around them, the non-physical, but they may have more of a negative experience, thinking what you might call a ghost or something scary is showing up to them. Now, there can be little children in between these two things where it is very light and things very dark, and it could appear shadowy or confusing or scary at times until they learn what it is. So there's all types of scale in engaging with this, but there is no one way to say that you or another person had an experience that was similar. So what you particularly were experiencing was your body moving into your soul. Well, we will just continue what we say, your body moving into your soul, as your soul is your original self and you created the body. So it was just the merging that you were experiencing, in the hitting, banging, bouncing, gives you the ability to feel your physical body. We hope this helps.
No, that was perfect. Very interesting. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Heather H. Hi. To continue that thread about younger children, my 8-year-old, I'm wondering what would be the most beneficial things or techniques or things to show him, to help him become more comfortable in his body, to be a little bit more grounded. I mean, he is telling me that he's feeling energy and just that, like when he comes home from school, he'll talk about having picked up.
What we want you to understand is
negative.
we want to repeat what we have said prior before. Thank you for explaining. Mm-hmm. These are things that are being experienced in his environment. This is a reflection of how he feels within. And so all humans, in order to get back into their true self or to the alignment of the things that bring them into what you call gifts or abilities, this is always by knowing self and trusting self. At this point, he has not been able to trust himself. He needs to engage with the ability to believe in himself and to not force himself to be a certain way in the world, but to understand what his alignment is and how to engage with the world. So for you, your teaching or your guidance is going to be about you performing that within yourself, trusting yourself, expanding your ability to hold a frequency of trust and love and belief, and not dipping deep into a low thought vibration through discouragement or confusion or discomfort from mental or feelings that rise up for you. The engaging with the emotions on a frequent basis is what keeps your frequency from remaining in a certain place. And the world around you reflects this at times, which can give you a feeling of confusion, thinking one thing and another thing showing up. It's because you have not maintained the ability to keep a frequency. You are still collaborating and working with this and trying to hold a certain frequency. It is very possible, and you are doing a good job in trying to work this out in your physical body. And you are working through many things that have happened in your life experience that have taught you how to do this. It is a protective mechanism that you built for yourself. And so as you continue to co-create with your own energy, trust yourself, engage with belief in yourself, and then teach that to your son. Remind him he is a divine being of light, and that the feelings he has, the sensations he has, there are positive experiences he can engage with. However, it is up to him to believe they are positive engagements with these things. And also understanding that he does not have to absorb things from other humans, that he can be a light frequency that helps them to clear it out by being present in his body, by being stable and calm, by trusting himself and not having to perform to be seen or loved on your earth, if this makes sense. So really is about
it does, but he is really struggling at school, and he can't keep still. And, they really do want me to medicate him. And I'm not, I don't feel good about that with him. I don't.
What kind of quiet time do you have with him? Are you sitting with him? Are you engaging with him? Are you meditating with him? Are you showing him how to quiet his mind? Are you allowing him to learn more about himself? The only reason he is acting out right now is because he does not feel safe and he does not feel seen. And he's attempted to feel grounded and safe in the environment because there is so much happening around him. He does not know himself. He does not know he has the ability to control how he feels. And so he interacts with the world around him thinking, if I do the interaction, and this is a non-conscious thought he has as a human, but the body will react to the environment that you're in if you don't know how to manage the body. And that's what we were talking about prior to this, about the soul coming into the body and parts of it either not being fully in it or not being fully out of it. So there's an imbalance here where he needs to pull part of himself back in or clear something out that he has picked up in his energy that is not his. And this is why many of the children that you call to have a disorder or disability or a behavior that is unliked by the adults around them, what you may call ADHD. These are gifted children that can move and shift energy. They just have not been taught how to do that because they can feel everything and they experience everything just as children with autism do. They're experiencing all the sensations in their body at once, which appears to be hyperactive because the body is attempting to move it out. And so if you teach them how to engage with moving it out themselves, then they will not react as much to the environment and they will be able to stay stable in some of these places. We hope this helps.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, that's very helpful. I have another question. If you could tell me names of the guides that I have right now working with me.
This is not something we can do at this time, as you have made an agreement that you will continue to work with them and they will speak these names to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mary?
Yes, this morning there was a turtle on the road and I got out and moved it out of the way. And I was wondering if there was something that he wanted to tell me and if he's my spirit animal.
He is not your spirit animal. However, he was very grateful for your interaction with him. And there was a agreement to have that interaction today to get you to thinking about things that you had not been thinking about, to you engage with the earth, for you to even to help this little turtle to feel the energy of love. So it was an exchange. However, this is not your specific spirit animal, you may say. However, we do want you to know that there are times that you may engage with things around you that appear in the physical realm, such as a human or animal or interaction with an object or a tree, you may say, or anything around you. It could even be a rock that your guide could be projecting its energy into to get your attention or to interact with you in some type of way. And what you are needing at that moment in time and your opening to receive the messages is how you will have that come through. And so this actually happened today so that we could bring through this teaching for you. So in a way, it was your guides working with us.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
About 10 years ago, I woke up during the night and I saw this woman standing beside me. And she had like a white one-piece suit on and a little cone hat. She touched my arm and I looked at my arms and there was like a rope of light wrapped around my arms. And every so often there was like a ball of light. I was just wanting to know if you can tell me what that was and who she was.
This was a part of you, your higher self. It was also a part of a light team. What we can look into the energy of, it looks like what you call a Syrian or from Sirius, the planetary system. So there was an activation that came through for you to release some things that you were holding on to, which is why the rope was presented there. It was opening up your frequency more to receive more information from her, from your higher self, and from the team in which you work with. We hope this helps.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Gina?
Yeah, I have another question. When we were at the retreat, Angie's retreat, about a month ago, we were in the middle of breath work, and I had two phrases that kept replaying in my mind. One of them was, "You are whole," and the other one was, "You are love." Is there a reason why those two phrases kept coming into my mind?
You were speaking them to yourself. It was your soul speaking to your mind, your human mind, or what you call the ego. And you were reprogramming thoughts that you have about yourself. So you were actually speaking to yourself in that moment. Many of you repeat things in your mind often. Is this not correct? You will say things and you'll be like, why am I saying this? Or a phrase or a statement or a word will come into your mind. And this is your higher self speaking to your human mind to give you an idea or a thought or a reprogramming in some type of way to help you with something. Now, if this is a negative thought that comes to you, this is something from another entity or a belief that you hold in your mind. So these are not coming from your higher self or from your true frequency. It is only the guidance and love that comes through with this type of programming and teaching from the true part of you. So what you were experiencing was hearing yourself speaking to yourself. We hope this helps.
Yes, and I almost felt like in that time frame, there was almost a glimpse of a realization that I truly can heal myself. And I got up out of that breath work afterwards, and I did feel a part of me had healed in some sense. Did that all occur?
Of course, it occurred. You are speaking it into truth now, even by believing and thinking, oh, this has occurred, that it creates an ability for it to have occurred. It may not always show up in the physical realm as quickly as it does in your belief realm or in the thought realm or in um, the desire realm, you may say. But once it is come into your thought, once the desire is there, once the belief, once the energy is created, it is already being formed in the energy. It is just taking a little bit of time for it to show up in the physical realm. And so you were experiencing the now moment of I am healed, I can heal myself. And now you were continuing to work through that energy, to merge into it, to hold it at a higher belief frequency and use it for yourself. And as you work with this, it can enhance. So we encourage you to do so. We hope that helps.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is Mandy. I live near a lake that has a lot of geode rocks with quartz crystal, and I'm really drawn to them. Does that come from my Lemurian life? And is there any way or any way to learn how to work with them?
Yes. Do you realize that many of the structures that were created at that time were with the crystals that you see forming on your earth? That the things of your ancient history had much more to do with the frequency of the earth than what you have been taught. And the interaction with the earth was very much different. There was a reverence and a respect for one another. And this did begin to change as the ego formed and shifts the thoughts of humans and the interactions of the beings that were here on earth at the time and continue to be, to change their frequency, which caused them to become less involved with these parts of the land. So the gifts of the earth, the part of her that holds light, the things that you describe as crystals or geodes, hold energy and little frequencies of portals that activate things on your planet. And so when you engage with it, you are activating your energy. This is why when people hold crystals or work with crystals or engage with the land and connect with it, that this activates parts of themselves that is a remembrance of who they really are. And so what is taking place, as you have seen over the last many years on your planet, people have become more intrigued and engaged with these things and becoming drawn to them. It is because humanity